people can change and people can grow, and
Right.
that's good. And, I mean, I get the Facebook memories of stuff I said in college, and I'm like, oh, thank God I'm not like that anymore. Um, but it's hard to, because sometimes because then it's like you see it and it's like it's happening. It's like I'm saying it today, but it was
Right.
really 15 years ago. But
Mhm.
you're looking at it today, and it's like, yes, I did say that, or I did do that, or I did whatever. And yeah,
Mhm.
it's harder to. There is more memory there, and it's some of it's cool because it'll say,
Mhm.
hey, here's this thing that you forgot you did, and it's like, oh, what a nice memory. But other things is not so much.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's like, can we cultivate a capacity to, to, like, be more charitable, I
Mhm,
guess, to other people if you accept that something is the case, give
mhm,
them some room to grow, because I think that's one of the things that, the dynamics you see on Twitter or whatever else is somebody makes a mistake and sometimes you know, the social feedback is probably warranted, but you can tweet something and,
mhm.
ruin your entire life, basically.
Ah,
Um, yeah.
okay. I mean, I
So
know that I personally, I kind of think a lot of the cancel culture stuff is a bit of a myth because, people do still have their jobs after they've been canceled or they get a
that's
new
true.
job. There might be specific people who don't like you anymore, but
Yeah.
also I do notice sometimes someone will say something and it's like, hey, that's not okay. And in the, hey, that wasn't an okay thing to say, it ends up coming out that it's not that they just said this one thing, it's a pattern. And it's
Oh,
just this
interesting.
was the thing that went viral. But when you look back to,
But
oh,
it's not actually a
this
one-off.
is actually the 10th time that they've been like this, and it's just the first time that they're getting attention for it. So, um, yeah, that it's
Sure.
hard to say because, like, what is we when I think of like life ruining, canceling, whatever.
Mhm.
I mean, I've had people get mad at me about things I've said, but I've never, I've never had my license revoked for it. I've never
Right.
lost my housing because of it. I feel like
You
if
did
you get to go on to a social media platform to your 500,000 followers and announce that you've been silenced, you're not actually being that's not what
there is
silence
there is something
means.
deep. There are sort of more kind of micro versions of this that are concerning, and I think are concerning to
Mm,
parents. Like, I talked to, one of the previous guests on the
mm,
podcast was saying, there's some recent research, I forget which university it was, but I think it was in the Southwest somewhere, but they essentially found that the vast majority of cyberbullying,
mm.
um, it actually happens, kind of with your pre-existing social network. So
Sure.
there are ways in which, the digital media, because it's
Mm,
like everything's digitized, everything's always
yes.
on, you have this stream of
Mm,
consumption,
mhm.
that can lead to, really difficult outcomes,
Sure.
for
And
certain
with
people.
cyberbullying, if I say something hateful to someone face to
Mhm.
face, there's that memory thing of it'll fade over time, but when it's a
Yeah.
message, they can pull it up and it's fresh over and over and over again.
Mhm.
So that there is a problem in with that sense.